This is a short video just to show you how to add and remove games. You've got to have your console plugged in, switched on, and you've got two ways of doing this. For everybody, you can access it the way I'm going to access it now. It's a program called Samba that's on the console, and we access it very, very easily. I'll take you through it. And then the second way of doing it is just for the Superior only, where you can unplug the hard drive from the console, plug it direct into the computer. So I'll show that part at the end of it. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to get your game from whichever source you decide to get it from. And what you've got to bear in mind here is that each game comes differently. So I've got a game in the middle there, Acid Drop. This is a .A26, which is a 2600 file, the Atari 2600. Different ones have different files. So the 7800 is a .78. The NES files are .NES. I'll show you some more when we get into it. But there's different ways of adding games to it. Now, the majority of you will already have games on there, so you can see what the extension file is. But everything you download tends to be the right file. And when I say the extension file, as you can read in there, this is an extension. So whenever I talk about an extension, it's everything after that little dot. What we need to do then is we need to connect up to your console. Now, what you've got to do with your console is make sure that it's switched on and has an active internet connection. For some of you with the Pi 3s, you can connect with a Wi-Fi, or you can connect with an Ethernet. And for everybody with an XU4, if you don't have a Wi-Fi dongle, you can just connect it up with an Ethernet cable. And again, the Superior users can connect the hard drive direct to the computer and just drag and drop it in that way. On your console, if you go into RetroPie on your main menu and go to Show IP, you'll see an IP address at the top. It states your IP is 192.168.1. something or .0. something. And I'm just going to show you where to put this now. So first and foremost, you need to open up a File Explorer, which you will find on your taskbar usually, depending on what computer you've got. This is running Windows 10. Some of you might be running Windows 7 NT, Mac. If you're running Mac, then you just open your version of a File Explorer. Unfortunately, I don't have a Mac to show you. But all you're going to click is the little yellow folder. It's quite unique for every single computer going, so you should be perfectly fine to just open that up. So from here, we're going to go into this address bar at the top. You'll see what it says there, this PC, Acer. You're just going to click next to it. It'll highlight it. And what we're going to put is a // some of you can access this by typing RetroPie in capitals, but we're going to do this through the IP address because this is the way it works perfectly every time. So my IP is actually shown there, which is 192.168.1.102. That is a local IP. That is an address that your computer is recognized by your router, by your Wi-Fi. So this is not your IP address to the rest of the world. This is just your internal IP address. It's like having a house address, but for your computer. So you're going to type this into the top. You hit the enter button, and you will be faced with this screen. Most of these are not going to apply to you. BGM, you'll never use that. Configs, you're likely to never use that. Splash screens and themes, you're likely to never use them. BIOS, you may need to put in. If you have not got the consoles, how's the best way to explain it is, if you've got a classic and you want to add a PlayStation game, then you are going to be missing a BIOS file. At which point you'd have to download the BIOS file from whichever source you get. In that case would be an scp_h1001.bin file. That's just for PlayStation. You would then drag and drop that into the BIOS folder. Otherwise the game won't start. That basically makes the game start. But we're going to concentrate on the ROM section. So we go into ROMs, and I know I've got an A26 file. I know that's for the Atari 2600. And when you get into ROMs, you'll open Atari 2600, and you will quite literally just drop that in. Now, anywhere you want, as long as it's not a folder on the side there, anywhere you want. Once you do that, I've obviously got it in there already. Yours will just copy, but replace the file in the destination. That's now in there, as you can see, acid drop NTSC conversion .A26. It is quite literally as easy as that. You now go and restart your emulation station, or your entire console, whichever way you want to do it. Open up Atari 2600 and you can now play the game. So I'm just going to show you some more file extensions. So again, just so you're aware, the file extension is the little .A26 at the end that I've just highlighted with the mouse. But there's different sections. Knowing which one to go in which is fairly straightforward, fairly simple. So you've got your Amiga, plain and simple, Amstrad, Arcade. Now we don't use the Arcade folder because we use the MAME 2003 games. We drop it straight into the MAME libretro folder. So all the games are there. What you've got to bear in mind with MAME games, you must keep them zipped up. So when you download a game, don't unzip it for MAME. For everything else, unzip it so you get this file. Just a quick explanation there. So FBA's FB Alpha, GB's Game Boy, GBA's Game Boy Advanced, GBC's Game Boy Color, MAME 2003 files for MAME, which are dropped into here. Everything else there's quite self-explanatory. NGP is Neo Geo Pocket, NGPC is Neo Geo Pocket Color, PC is where you drop all your DOS games, PSX is your PlayStation 1, and everything else is self-explanatory. So again, very, very simple. Open up the folder you want to drop a game into, drop it in. All the games are in, so PSX, you've got all the games in there. If you've got a Master System, the games in there, you can just drop them all in. Again, Master System, the extension's .sms on the end. So all of them files will work. So I'll just show you now from the hard drive. I'll just grab that and plug that in. So once we've plugged the hard drive in, simply a case of going down to this PC, open up your hard drive, RetroPie mount, ROMs, select where you want to put your game. So Atari 2600, drop the game in. It is literally that easy. You can get your games online. Just search them in Google. They will show up. You can download them. Don't forget to unzip all your files, except for MAME. MAME does not get unzipped, but that is the entire way to do it.